reminiscing with my mom and picked out a bottle of wine to take on my trip. And I said I was going to save it until we made it to our destination of Cape Breton Island. We made it here. It was a little sketchy with the hurricane, but they announced that we're open. So here we are. Cheers. Carl is also celebrating with a beverage.
Right in front of the Cape Breton Islands Visitor Center.
Yep.
We're going to go in and ask about some hikes now.
No, we're not. We're at Chetty Campground in the national park, site number 89. Narrow sites, but full hookups. Our first hike of Cape Breton Highlands National Park, Nova Scotia, is Corny Brook. Please allow 2 hours and a distance of 6.5 kilometers.
Thomas, what kind of bird is this?
We made it to the waterfall, and there's a red chair, of course.
Got our first waterfall in Cape Breton Highlands National Park. Nicole has found her way to the red chair facing the waterfall at the end of the trail. It's pretty nice. We're here in mid-October. The colors are pretty spectacular. There's lots of yellows and reds and oranges mixed in. So far it's been pretty spectacular. And the bug report is pretty much none so far. It is about 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and we walked all the way through the woods and very little bugs right in the middle of the day. So far so good.
Look, there's some tiny people way up here. And I think that's the Skyline Trail. And so we're gonna go check that out. This is a very popular hike in the park. As you can see, it's much busier. Here's the information board for the Skyline Trail. You can go straight out and back, which is 7.5 kilometers, or you can turn it into a loop, which is 9.2 kilometers. Here we go. Through these trees you can see blue. But do you think it's all sky? Because it's not. Some of it is sky, but some of it is ocean. people that I pointed out earlier. So yeah, school bus down there. That's about where we were when I had pointed out the people on this trail. In this camera view, there are two bears. You can easily see the one on the left, but do you see in the one on the right, top right corner? They're massive.
You're right, that one on the right is good.
And you can see them all the way from the road where we are. Super cool. Your first day in the park.
We got a late start. It's almost 1 o'clock. So I'm beat. Got 21,500 steps in about a half a day in the park.
It's a new day here in Cape Breton Highlands. The weather is quite different from yesterday where we were hiking in shorts and t-shirt. Today it's 50 degrees and quite windy. Not super sunny yet. Right now we are hiking on a mountain bog hike called Bog. That's only a half a kilometer loop. Our next trail of the day is to Macintosh Brook. It's a 1.7 kilometer hike. Please allow 30 to 45 minutes. I think this might be my favorite hike. It's like we're in a valley here. There's like a ridge over here. We've got a brook over here. The trees are pretty. There's these bright green ferns, moss. It's just so pretty. Here's a nice map of where we are. So right now we are here at McIntosh Brook, and we are camping down here at Chetty Camp. So far we've only seen in 2 days from here to here. 2.5 days, I would say. And it's definitely worth it. Even if you're not coming here to hike and you're only doing the road, it's definitely worth it. It's so pretty here. There's tons of overlooks. You can get so much scenery without actually going into the woods. This is Meat Cove Beach. Chances are, if you've looked at this park, you've also come across Meat Cove. Very beautiful.
I am beat here. It's I don't remember the name of the hike. Put it at the bottom. It's only been a half mile, but it's been straight up. This was listed as strenuous, and I'm tired. Nicole is slowly making her way towards us. She's got a little while to catch up. But this one is listed as moderate. I'm earning every step. And unfortunately, I think we're gonna get to the top, and it's gonna be too foggy anyway because there's a little bit of rain. But still a better Sunday than I know a lot of people home in Michigan are watching the Lions. So hiking in a national park in the rain is still way better than watching a Lions game. Cape Breton Highlands seems to be pretty interesting. They only like to do one red chair. There must be a shortage out here on Nova Scotia. It's kind of funny. The view from the red chair today isn't super fantastic. That's the Gulf of St. Lawrence down there, but there's a lot of fog. we knew that coming in. It's a little rainy and foggy today. Luckily, it's not a super long hike. It's still fun to get up here. My hiking partner is a little tired. She's got a red face even though she won't sit in the red chair because it's a little wet. But it's all downhill after this point. Still a lot of fun to come up here. About 3/4 of a mile up, I think about 500 feet. It's pretty strenuous for the first 2/3. Still a lot of fun to get out and get some steps in on a rainy day.
We are on our way to visit a whiskey distillery. This is the oldest single malt distillery in North America, operating since the 1800s, straight from Scotland. This is for my papa.
It takes about a week to last. And they run multiple batches. From now, basically up to about this time. In the end, I'll do about 200 barrels of this.
Yum. So not that I will remember, but the water that they get comes from this brook right here, McLeod's Creek or brook or whatever. And then they run it through all sorts of different processes over here where they make sugar water and then ferment it with yeast and stuff, I don't know. And then it comes over here where it does other things, and eventually they'll get alcohol.
It's the secret ingredient. Oh, your sweat.
We are hiking up on the Acadia mountain hike, which, if I remember right, it was 5.4 miles round trip. And I think we're going up somewhere between 800 and 900 feet elevation gain. We've been hiking for an hour up the whole time. And it's said to allow 3 to 4 hours for this trip. It's about 60 degrees and sunny, and I'm hoping that we get a nice breeze once we do get to the top. Also, there better be a red chair waiting for me, and 2 of them. Timing how slow I am again. What is wrong with this park? Why don't they ever put 2 chairs in? Well, I found the red chair. And here's your view.
This here tells us that we're 5 kilometers into the hike, but we're going backwards. So this means we have 5 kilometers left. You don't find these very often, and it's really helpful to know how much is left in your hike. If you want to stop and rest, you don't know where to have your sandwich or whatever. So if anybody's out there listening and you run trails, put a few of these in once in a while.
Well, that is going to do it for our time in Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia, and Canada. We got to spend 7 nights here at Cape Breton Highlands, and it was super cool. I'm really glad that we got to go here and complete that part of our trip. Like I said, that was the destination and the goal, and we got to make it, and it was well worth it. The colors were out in full swing. The road, the Cabot Trail that goes through the park is super awesome. Every day that we drove through the park, it was offering something new to us. I would highly recommend everybody to go. The hikes that we did were super cool. We hiked over 23 miles, and it was just an overall great time. So we're gonna release a Canada kind of review trip and all the weird and crazy things that we went through to just to be in in the country and things that happened to us along the way. So that will come out next week. And then as far as where we're headed, we're gonna head back into the States and see what happens there. Thanks for watching.